So what do you do when your dream dies? Do you sit down and cry? Do you give it up and let it die? Or do you give it one more try? And I remember driving along in the car that day. Not even my car, because I didn't have a car anymore. I remember driving along in my friend's car and crying. And between the $37,000 I owed those guys and then the money I owed for the vendors, I mean, whatever money I had left that day, I took and paid off the employees and said, this is the last check you're going to get, so, do what you can with it. And that left me $55,000 US, $55,000 in debt. No house, no car, no credit cards, no job. What do you do in a situation like that? Because as you heard from Ford, I'm a high school dropout. I started off as a dishwasher in a pancake house. And then I worked my way up to cook, and then I became a waiter, and then I was a manager trainee. And I thought, boy, if I could just be a restaurant manager, that would be, I could wear a tie, I'd go around with the coffee pot. How's your dinner this evening? Everything okay? I thought, oh, this would be it. Until I got that job. And then I realized I worked 60, 70, sometimes 80 hours a week. So think what kind of home life you have, what kind of friends. You don't have any friends. You don't, because people stop calling you. Because every time they call you, you're always working. And you never go to the movies, and you never go to dinner, and you never go anywhere, so they just stop calling you. And your work becomes your life. We get out of balance. We get so busy chasing our income, we forget about living life. We forget about living our dreams. And all of a sudden, where do you go when you don't have that dream anymore? I want to talk about your dream. I mean the big dreams, the bold, daring, imaginative ones you had. The ones you had when you were 15 years old, and 18 years old, 20 years old. Because what I see people give up on their dreams. And it seems the older we get, the more we give up on our dreams. Any kid who's 15 years old and they know they're going to have a great car when they grow up, and a great house and a great job and a wonderful spouse, and they're going to be rich and they're going to be successful, and they're going to be an astronaut or a football star or a rock star or whatever, right? There's no limits to what they can dream. And what happens along the way? They get out, they go to school, they get out as 22, 23 years old, all of a sudden they take a job they don't really want. It's not their dream job, but they figure it'll do for right now. And then maybe they find out about another job, and that's not their dream job, but it's a little more money than the last one. And they meet someone along the way, and all of a sudden there's two, and then there's a little baby on the way, and there's another baby, and then there's diapers and formula and braces and all of those kind of things. And all of a sudden they take another job that's 500 miles away, but again, it pays a few $1,000s more a year, so they take that job. And all of a sudden you're 35 years old, you're 45 years old, you're 55 years old, and you forgot about your dreams. Every year they publish the list of the most popular cars. And I see it every year, and it comes out. And I read the list, and it's funny. Now, when I talk to kids, and I talk to a lot of kids, they always like cars. And I'm going to get a Corvette, I'm going to get a Lamborghini, I'm going to get a Ferrari. And then when they publish this list of the best-selling cars, it's Toyota Camrys and Holdens and Mercurys and Ford Escorts and Geo Metros, the broke mobiles, right? These are all cars they make for broke people because they gave up on their dreams. They said, well, this is the car we got. There's room for the car seat in the back, and we can afford the payments. And they settle for a car. And they settle for a house. And they settle for a job. And they settle for a life of quiet desperation. Most people are sitting on a recliner, rubbing the hair off the back of their head, drinking rancid fermented hops, watching the Idiot Box. 6 hours a day. And this is their life. Monday morning, 6:30, the alarm clock goes off. And then they got to get up and they rush in the shower and they jump in the car and they buy their breakfast through a drive-through somewhere, and then they go to a job they don't like or actually hate, and they get through Monday till 5 o'clock or 5:30 or 6 o'clock, and then they go out and they face the traffic going home. They probably get drive-through dinner somewhere, dinner in a bucket to take home to the kids, get in front of the idiot box and sit there in a coma till they fall asleep until Tuesday morning, 6:30, it starts all over again. Friday means they go out to Pizza Hut. And they will spend their entire weekend sitting on that same recliner, rubbing that same hair off the back of that same head, drinking the same rancid fermented hops in a coma all weekend long, video after video after video, so they don't have to think about their life of quiet desperation until Monday morning, 6:30, when it starts all over again. This is life for a lot of people. This is life for millions of people. Because what are most people doing? They're doing the 45-year plan, which is they get a job around 20 years old. They work for 45 years at that dead-end job they don't like or actually hate, and retire around 65 years old and try to live their golden years on half of what they couldn't get by on when they worked. So if your idea of your golden years is walking your poodle around the block, good luck to you. Because you've got to control your own destiny. You've got to control your own income. You've got to control your own retirement security. So what's got to give? You've got to find a dream, something that will take you to this frame of mind where you will change the way you live. You will change the daily actions you take, and you will change your mindset, but you will make a sacrifice to build my freedom, to build my security, to build my independence. So you can raise your own kids instead of paying someone else to raise them for you. You know, I mean, people drop their kids off at a daycare center at 7:30 in the morning and pick them up at 5 o'clock at night. Those poor kids couldn't pick their mother out of a police lineup. Do you really get that? You can't do these kind of things when you're broke. You can't help your kids when you're broke. When you're so busy trying to pay the bills, you're so busy trying to cover the mortgage, you're so busy trying to pay the rent, you can't live life. And that's not the way life is meant to be lived. Make a commitment yourself that you're worthy, that you're worth it, that you will think back. And that's what I want you to really do, is say, okay, what were your dreams when you were 15? Maybe it's you want to take a year off and study ballet. Maybe you want to take 6 months and go on a cruise around the world. Maybe you want to fly in all your family from all over the world and have a reunion. Maybe you want a house in Paris and a house in Hawaii and a house in San Diego and a house in Berlin. I don't know what it is for you, but you have to know what it is.